that's the head of probably the most famous song that I ever wrote. Uh, I got the idea from my first cousin who whistled a melody to me one day, and I came home and I devised that progression to go along with it. And it became a song that was recorded on an album in 1997 called Another Morning. And the name of this song is called The Molly May. Now, I'm aware that there's probably some people that come on the site here that have really no idea about my solo career as a performer. But there's others that ask me all the time how I play certain songs that I've written. This is one of them, probably the most requested one that I've ever written, that people ask me all the time, how is that done? And most of my songs, a lot of people have covered my material over the years and sing it, all in their own shows or at campfires or jam sessions and stuff, and I've listened to multiple versions of my songs. And some of these people do a tremendous job of my material, and it's always a great honor to see somebody else singing something you wrote. But there never seems to be anybody who quite gets it the way that I did it. And they always come to me and ask me, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because they know there's something missing, but they're not sure what it is. And I realized from looking at the piece myself and the things that I've written that a lot of what I do is cheating. I cheat a lot. I do things that are much simpler than they actually look. I use a lot of substitutions. A lot of the things that I do are only, they sound complicated because they are stacked differently than you would expect a chord to be stacked. And what I mean by that is I'm using substitutions in the bass line, which oftentimes creates another chord altogether. And that substitution thing is so easy. You don't realize how easy it is to alter the way something sounds just by choosing a different bass line than using the one, like the root of the chord. If you don't use the root of the chord, all of a sudden it becomes this new thing that's usually incredibly beautiful. And so that's what people miss. There's these little tiny details in all the people who play my music that they've asked me a million times. So I'm going to start to put some of these things up on the school because I know a lot of you guys might know these songs, and so I'm going to show you how they're done. I think the easiest way to do this, I'm not even going to bother doing this from the front. We're just going to get the over-the-shoulder review here. And I'm going to go through both sides of the tune. I'm not going to sing it or anything. I might hum along the melody or whatever, but the most important thing we're going to focus on is what's happening on the guitar. So here we go, the close-up of the Molly May. Okay, so the head of the tune, like the intro of the tune, is based upon only two chords, which would be a barred A minor here at the 7th fret, and a barred D at the 5th fret, and a barred C at the 3rd fret. But what I did was removed the notes that fall on the G string. I took all the fingers off the G string and left it open. So the chord then becomes a 3-note chord. This also becomes 3 notes. So I'm covering pinky, ring finger, leaving the G open, and the root. And then sliding that down one more to C. Right? So that is the form of the left hand. Now, the complicated part is the right hand, which I actually had to look at closely before I started this video because I do it so automatically that I wasn't sure exactly how I was doing it. So it starts with a pinch, which is a very banjo-y thing of me to do. I don't know why I decided to do this. This is just what worked, right? So it actually starts with a pinch. The root and the B string together. So that's the pattern. So pinch, thumb, open G. And then you move your chord down to D. Same thing. And then there's a full measure on C. And what I'm doing is just running right through in order. So again, pinch, 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 and run through in order. So that's the whole lick. The pinch, and don't complete the forward roll. Pinch, don't complete the forward roll. Pinch, and then complete a forward roll twice. So there you go. And then it ends with continuing forward rolls down through this chord form again, right? So it goes from this and then down to B and then to A minor and then down to G. So slowly from the whole thing from the top. And all those moves there are pinch, half forward roll. Pinch, whoops, pinch, pinch. And I always play my G like that. The top note, the A string muted, and the pinky playing the bottom G. So I can add the C sus to it. Or so that's the intro. So the same thing is occurring when you start to sing it. Da, 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 da. So what I did there was I walked up into C from the G chord. So that's an open A and the C note, and then a B and the D note on the B string, and then C. So it's, so when I was 13 years with my father. And the same thing, I walk down to the A minor. Let's see. Now here's a mistake that everybody makes, and I just made it myself because I wasn't singing the melody. People always go da 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 da. That's not the right chord. The right chord is actually, here comes the first substitution. It's an A minor and then a C with a G bass. And then a G, and then a D with an F sharp bass. See, these are the things that people don't notice because they go by so fast, and if you're not careful, you start to put almost the right chords in that you would expect to be there, but I didn't actually play them. I played these weird substitutions, right? So again, let's go from here. So there's the whole verse, right? So basically what you're doing, you know, throughout that while you're singing is you're basically playing just a simple Lightfoot pattern, right, with your right hands. Except for, you know, you're doing so that's what's happening. The right hand just starts going into that Lightfoot pattern, right? So you see what's happening there. It just turns into that Lightfoot. So there's the whole intro and verse. So the chorus is like so. Da 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 da. Here's a magic chord, right? And another substitution that I do that no one ever catches on to. So the chorus, da 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 da. This is that beautiful melody that Jarvis gave me when I wrote this song. Da 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 da. There's a D with the F sharp bass with my thumb, and then a this is a G add A, right, with a B bass. Isn't it a beautiful chord? So that's the actual chord. So it's da 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 da. And the C I play is another substitution. I'm going from this up to a C and leaving these fingers where they are. See, that's another cheat that I'm doing, right? That fancy G and just switching the index and middle fingers up to a C chord, which then allows me to pass through that B again on my way to the A minor. See, this is, to me, this is all cheating. It's all little things that I'm doing that no one notices because my hand is so compacted. You can't tell what I'm doing. If you're watching it from the front, it's like, I just heard 4 chords, but I only seen his hand move twice. And that's my cheat, right? So let's do that again. Top of the chorus. Da, 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 da. Those are straight A minor, E minor. Then the D. Now there's another move that everybody seems to miss too. It's the tissue in between the two halves of the chorus. And all it is a pronunciation of the D going into the C, or into the G, back to the root, right? So it's da 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 D. This time I play the whole D chord because I want that F sharp. And I produce that weird 2-finger G chord again. And that's really pronounced, right? Da 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 that's a real, because there's no vocal there either, right? It's the guitar doing its standout little thing in the middle of the chorus that resets the listener for the rest of the chorus. So then after that you're repeating. Da, 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 wheel of the Molly May. And there you go. That's the whole song. And the only other thing you have to watch out for is in the final verse. I'm going to go over the things that I do there. I was there. So the final verse is a breakdown verse. It's where everything kind of stops and the rhythm stops. And I play these substituted chords. Instead of doing these, I play these substituted chords, and my right hand pattern changes. So that's the pattern. It's a really bizarre pattern, but that's what it is. So I'm hitting index and then the last two with these two fingers. And I'm playing this E minor chord. It has this sort of a G bottom to it. And that's the pattern. On the right hand is, and then a D with a F sharp bass, and then a G, A minor, E minor, G, or D. So, I was there to see her sail away in the wind. See, I did it again. I make the same mistake there, not putting that C with the G bass in it. So, sorry, let me try this again. And then, after that, it just goes back to the regular pattern, which you would be... So you just go back, but you play it softer with more feeling, because you're getting to the point there where the guy's watching the boat go down in the harbor. So there you go. I hope that answers all the questions. I'll go back to the front and I'll give you some more advice, possibly. So there you go. There's the mechanics of the Molly May. Only advice I can give you is watch the chord forms very carefully and the substitutions of bass lines. And once you learn this from me, right, I got these ideas from listening to other players, many other players, famous players that have always utilized bass substitutions, chord substitutions, pattern substitutions. And the idea behind learning something like this is to open the floodgates for you to go look at other players and test other songs to see if there's something in there that is like this. And there will be. There's thousands of them. And so there you go. There's the Molly May. I was just saying that I didn't actually realize exactly how difficult this was until just now. I knew it was going to be an advanced lesson, but there's a lot of there's so many different techniques and tricks going on in this that I do automatically, because I've been playing this song for 27 years and I don't even think about it anymore. I do all these things while I'm singing it. So I imagine when I first wrote it, it wasn't that easy for me to do all this stuff while I was singing it. But it's such a guitar-based song that you kind of have to, you don't really have a choice but to do it. If you get it right and get all the parts in the guitar, the song itself goes up 10 notches because they're so intertwined and married to each other that, yeah, I mean, it's just quite incredible the way it works. When I'm sitting here looking at it piece by piece, I actually never would have thought it was this difficult, but it is. It's a very advanced lesson. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can do it. And actually, I know you can do it because it's physically not that hard at all. It's actually very simple. You just got to know what I'm doing, and I've showed you all of that. So there you go. The Molly May. Finally, a lesson. After 20 years of people asking me how to do it, there it is. Now you know. Welcome, and we hope you stay with us and come back for the next video here on mastermusicmethod.com.